Hey, we are finally here. Good morning, everybody. This is Ralph here on X with Daily Motivation from the Tarot. And I was scheduled to go live at 7 a.m., but we had connectivity issues, couldn't make that. So here we are now, 9 o'clock. So finally getting around to the order of the day and talking about the Justice Tarot card, lessons that we can learn from the Justice card. And of course, with the Justice card in Tarot, it's all about truth, justice, duality, making wise decisions, siding on the side of truth, honesty, and justice. And one quote that really sums this up, it's from the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And Napoleon Hill writes in his book, in the section talking about the self-confidence formula. I don't have the chapter, page, and verse here. I've got the verse. But Napoleon Hill writes, I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage only in transactions that benefit all whom they affect. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. And he goes on. This is kind of a long quote I'm doing this morning, but it's a good one. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing true love for all humanity, because I know that a negative attitude towards others can never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself. Here, Napoleon Hill, talking about how to build self-confidence, hits on a core idea for charging your life, turning your honesty and truth and justice into a superpower. Because he hits on this idea that if you are actively involved in pursuits that you know are honest, truthful, just, and benefit others as well as yourself, not just a money grab like, oh my God, we see all kinds of opportunities online, don't we, that are just money grabs. Give me $20 today, give me $50 today, and later on we'll multiply that money. I mean, regular Ponzi schemes, actually. And you see this quite often in crypto areas and other areas of, making money online. But schemes that, cannot be honest, that cannot be truthful, and yet they seem so enticing that a lot of people bite on it. And I know I bit on a few of those back about 15 years ago. A lot of cryptocurrency opportunities. They were brand new to the internet back in those days. And I should have known better on a few of them, but like BitConnect, USI Tech, Jetcoin. Oh God, a lot of those opportunities came out, claimed they were going to be strong, they were going to be providing generational wealth, and then within a few months, they all collapsed. And I mean, one collapsed in just a huge fashion. It lasted all of 10 days, I believe, 2 weeks. And it crashed, and it took down a lot of big investors that had invested Bitcoin into that scheme, into that scam is what it turned out to be. But when you're promoting something and you know it's a scam, you know the math doesn't math, you know things don't work out, how effective can you be in promoting that as an online promoter, as a regular business person, just face to face? If you have something that you know it's a scam, Would you try to sell it to your mother, your father, your family? Or would you be hiding out on the internet so that people wouldn't know what you're doing and then trying to sell it to absolute strangers? If you are involved in something that is not built on truth, justice, honesty, something that only benefits a few people at the top and hurts a lot of people down at the bottom, a real pyramid scheme, then that disempowers you. You have to overcome certain weaknesses, well, which are actually strengths, but certain things like shame, regret, things like that, very negative emotions, because you know that you're promoting something that is a scam. However, when the opposite is true, when you're promoting something, building something that you know is not a scam, that you know has value, and you're promoting it with integrity, and it's built on a team that is building on the cornerstone of truth, justice, and integrity. This may sound kind of hokey, but that gives you a new power. It gives you the ability to go out there into the business world, into your family world, into the online world, and say, hey, look at what I have here. This is an honest business. It offers real value. It is not like everything else out there that you've probably seen or have been thinking about jumping into. This is different because it's honest. That gives you a power that will supercharge you as a business person. And I think Napoleon Hill, when he hits on this, I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. And then the rest of that paragraph and beyond. I didn't read the full quote yet, but he really hits on a powerful idea, a very powerful understanding that if we're building on the bedrock of truth and justice in our personal lives, in our business lives, in our family lives, in our community lives, we empower ourselves because we know we've got nothing to hide. When you're out there doing stuff, and at the back of your mind, you know you've been doing a few things that haven't been honest, that would make you publicly shamed if it were to come out. If you've got something to hide, it takes a lot of energy out of you. But if you go into the world with the attitude that, I've made some mistakes in the past, yes. I'm trying to atone for those mistakes. I am making up for them as best as I can. And from this moment onward, I am not going to be making those same dishonest mistakes ever again. I'm building a new chapter in my life. I'm turning a new page. That gives you a power that a lot of other people don't have. And when you see a business, and you can find these businesses everywhere, really, online, offline. It's like when you see a business that is not built on truth and justice, but is just doing the exact opposite. Napoleon Hill says he wanted to engage in transactions that only benefited everybody that they touched, right? I want to engage in transactions that benefit all whom they affect. I have worked for companies, huge, big, multinational companies that had the exact opposite attitude. One company that I dealt with about 15, 16 years ago as an employee, I stayed with that company for 3 years. I'm kind of ashamed to admit it now, but I stayed with that company for 3 years, thinking that I could change that company, bring powerful, positive change to that company. But they made it quite clear. They didn't want to engage in transactions that benefited all whom they affected. They wanted to dominate the market. They wanted to destroy the competition. They wanted to be the only retailer left in the whole gosh darned world. They were actively working to destroy the competition, drive them out of business, and they made that perfectly clear in their computer-based training that they gave to every new employee, that we are here to dominate the retail sales industry, and whatever it takes, we are going to be the last company standing. They did not want to benefit all that they affected. They wanted to be the beneficiaries, and they wanted everybody else to suffer. And when that began to dawn on me, I began to question, how long can I really stay with this company? They're not built on the bedrock of truth and justice, and they had a lot of complaints. Governmental complaints, employee complaints, lawsuits up the yin-yang. But they were so big, they were so powerful that for a time, they were able to weather all those lawsuits just fine. They haven't been doing so well in recent years, but back when I was working for them, they seemed to think they were untouchable, unstoppable, immovable. But I mean, yeah, they had a lot of people out gunning after them, not because it was a bad retail store, but because their business practices were so abhorrent. Their labor abuses were so abhorrent. Their environmental abuses were so abhorrent. It was like this company was it was like working for the mafia. And that was one nickname that was given to them, the Arkansas Mafia. You probably know who I'm talking about now. But yeah, they owe a lot of unpaid overtime to employees, allegedly. And I'm one of them. And I mean, gosh, this company just was not built on truth and justice. So when you're engaged with a company like that, and you think, okay, I'm going to try to change it from the inside, you've got to be a pretty strong, powerful person, because when you're going up against a force of negativity that strong, the odds are better that it's going to change you rather than you changing it. But when you're engaging in your own personal life, in your own community life, you're building your own business, and you're wanting to stand out from all the vultures out there looking to kill off the competition and feast on the carcass, the question will arise in your mind, how can I stand out? How can I be different? And I think if you sit down and read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, you will have a lot of ideas as to how you can stand out in life, how you can make a difference in life, and how you can stand out in your business life and every other facet of life. Build everything that you do on a foundation of truth and justice. Don't think in terms of win-lose. Think in terms of win-win transactions. Transactions that benefit all whom they affect. And build your life, build your business on the bedrock of truth and justice. And this is stuff, I know a lot of big business people. Some of them swear by the works of Napoleon Hill. Others don't. Others will openly scoff, laugh, and mock the writing of Napoleon Hill. Guess what kind of business people they are? Not necessarily business people that build their business on the bedrock of truth and justice. Following justice is something that can set us apart. But before we can follow justice, we have to follow truth. Because there's a lot of people out there leveling accusations against businesses, governments, corporations, individuals that are just lies. So before you work for justice, you have to work on truth. Do you know the truth? Are you aware of the truth? Are you getting the truth on TV, on social media, on 60 Minutes? Or is it just a pack of lies agreed upon? Unfortunately, journalism today has gone from reporting the news to just reporting propaganda, being propaganda outlets for one party or another, usually one. And you have to know, are you receiving truth? But once you are focused on engaging in truthful discussions with other people, hearing the truth, speaking the truth, testing things to find out, is this news outlet feeding me truth? Is this really news? Or is this just propaganda? Does this stand up to the light of reason, the light of day? And if it doesn't, then divorce yourself from it. In our own household, here, my wife and I, we haven't turned on our television set for 15 years. It's still sitting in the corner gathering dust, and I need to remember to dust it off sometime today, too. It's holding a lot of little pretty planters and things like that. But yeah, we haven't plugged that thing in for 15 years because we began to realize 15 years ago what Donald Trump would later be talking about, that fake news was the order of the day, that really the TV wasn't worth watching. It was just a mental parasite. And so, yeah, we turned that off. Now I get my news through X, get a lot of some news through YouTube, through trusted sources. But yeah, you really have to focus in your life on where you get your truth, if the truth you're receiving really is truth. And in ancient societies, this was a big deal. In Egypt, I believe it was, the Egyptian pantheon, one goddess for the Egyptians was Ma'at, and she was the goddess of truth. And other cultures had similar goddesses, the goddess of truth. And in our modern day depiction of justice, it's a lady blindfolded, holding a sword, or sometimes a sword, and definitely two scales. Justice is blind, Lady Justice. We still carry this archetype with us today, but it doesn't really have the same power today as it did in ancient society. But ancient societies like ancient Egypt, the dynasties of ancient Egypt, they realized that they had to be built on a foundation of truth and justice if they wanted to be strong. And they also knew from their past history, watching the history of civilizations, how civilizations rise, they peak, and then they always crumble and fall. And why is that? Because they forget their foundation. They become rooted in greed and avarice rather than truth and justice. And so ancient societies realized if we want to stand the test of time and survive for hundreds of years, thousands of years, we have to stay firm on our foundation of truth and justice. And the goddess Ma'at in the ancient pantheons is just one small example of that. But in our modern day experience, yeah, we have a choice going through this life. Are we going to go through it trying to make money any way we can, even if we have to lie, cheat, and steal? Or are we going to go through this life focused on making money, but doing it in a way that's honest, genuine, sincere, and in a way that benefits all whom it affects? Not trying to kill off the competition, metaphorically speaking, and to drive them into the ground, but trying to build a business that is a blessing to the community and benefits all that it touches. Thinking in terms of win-win rather than I need to dominate and make everybody else lose. That's a very weakening kind of attitude to have. Stronger attitude is building on truth, justice, and building a world that benefits all, not just a few. So, with that being done, that's in a nutshell, a rather big nutshell, is the Justice card. Now, let's deal out two other cards use the Justice card in a reading. I know that one of these 3 cards that I have now is the Justice card. The other 2, I don't know what they are. And we're going to use the Justice card in a 3-card reading and see what message we get here. And what question should we be asking? How can Joe Blow from Idaho, make this very general, how can Joe Blow from Idaho build a good business? What can Joe do? Not a real person, by the way. What can Joe do to build a good business? And I'm going to lay out the cards now. We got the question. We got the 3 cards. First card that comes up, 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups is a card that deals with wanting to go back, reclaiming past energies. It's also built on the number 6. 6 is the generative principle. Generally deals with issues of love, why, a strong why. Why do you do things? What keeps the world spinning? Basic generative questions here. Why do we get up in the morning? Why do we go through our day? 6 of Cups speaks to questions like that. So this question, what can I do to build a good, honest business? That's a good beginning, good foundation. Second card is the Knight of Wands. And this adds a new element to the reading. Knight of Wands stands for taking action. Wand stands for creativity, fire, passion. And with the message that I'm getting from this now is that to build a business that you can be proud of, one that will be strong, one that will stand out, put your own unique mark on that business. Be the Knight of Wands. Find something that you are passionate about, something that you can monetize and build a business on, and make sure that you're building on the foundation of truth and justice, which again, not the Justice card, that hasn't come up yet. That's going to be the 3rd card. I know that by process of elimination. But the 6 of Cups card, wanting to recapture past energies of love, past energies of family relationships, past energies of having a good, strong, honest community, a loving community. And if you can build on that past energy and add to it your own distinct energy of what drives you, what are you passionate about? What hobbies do you have? What causes do you have that you would willingly work for free and yet find a way to get paid for doing that? What passions do you have that you can channel into a business and then channel that energy into that business? And then the last card is, of course, the Justice card. You build on a foundation of justice. You add to it your own distinct passions, your love, your energy, your creativity. Don't just go into business with all the imagination of a dead fish. No. Go into it with your human knowledge, your human passion, your human creativity, and use that. Use AI to get new ideas, to do research, to fact check a few things, and then fact check the fact checkers. But use AI to get some ideas, but let the creativity and the passion be exclusively yours. And this is something that a lot of modern day business people are losing sight of. They think that winners in the future will be using AI, which I can see some of the truth in that statement, but they think that winners in the future will be letting AI run their businesses exclusively. I don't see it that way. I see a large percentage of the population wanting to engage with other human beings, not with bots, not with AI, not even with Grok 3, as good as Grok 3 is shaping up to become. And man, Grok 4 is probably going to be awesome. But I mean, people want human relationships. I mean, do you want to spend the rest of your life talking to an AI rather than a human being? Dealing with AI rather than a human being? Playing with dolls rather than, doing things with real people? I don't think so. There are a few people that will be wired that, they totally artificial. Yeah, they will love that. But I think the vast majority of the human race craves human relationships. And when we deny ourselves those human relationships, we weaken ourselves. And when we build a business that is built on AI to the detriment of human relationships, then we're building a company that's going to collapse eventually. It will have its heyday for a while, but then as soon as people begin to figure out that they're getting everything through AI and getting no human personal relationships at all, that there's nobody in that company that really cares about them, they will start gravitating towards other companies that are built on the foundation of truth, justice, and human-on-human relationships. And those companies will be the ones that dominate in the future, I believe. Companies that utilize AI wisely, but companies that don't let AI replace good old-fashioned human relationships. And that's what I see in this reading here. Six of Cups, reclaiming some past energies, past wisdom that you've learned. Knight of Wands, taking that energy, taking those lessons learned and channeling them into a new creative activity. Finding something that you are passionate about, something you would do for free, and yet something that you're willing to do and find a way to monetize it. Something that's going to make a difference in your life, your world, and the world around you. And then the Justice card, a reminder. That is the bedrock that we should be building on, and that is the future bedrock that all future versions of ourselves, of our family, of our businesses should also be built on. Because if we forget about justice in the future, we have no future. Everything will begin to crumble, as it has in the past, to civilizations and companies that have been rising and falling and rising and falling in cyclic progression for thousands upon thousands of years. Learn that lesson. Stay rooted in truth and justice. So that is the reading for the day, the presentation of the day. If you like this kind of stuff, look me up online. We have, we're in a lot of different places. I've got a YouTube channel. If you're listening to this on YouTube, I'm taking a lot of these X spaces and turning them into YouTube videos, faceless YouTube videos. And, it's kind of neat the way that can be done. Very easy once you learn how to do it. And I think in one of my future spaces in affiliate marketing, I'll be teaching that again, how to make faceless videos using X spaces and then downloading them and re-uploading them to YouTube. But yeah, we got a YouTube channel. If you want to find us online, easy way is just give me a shout out on social media wherever you're seeing this presentation, or go to our main website, which is reverendheiditarot.net. And I'm going to be putting that link in the first comment down below here on X. Everywhere else, it'll be in the program description. But yeah, find us there. We do tarot readings. I'm going to be adding more to that site as well, talking about how you can find us in our other, places here on social media. But if you want to get a reading, we do readings by phone, focusing on coaching, personal coaching, take all kinds of questions, business, love and relationships, family, whatever. We've been doing this professionally since 2011. And both my wife and I have been reading tarot since the 1970s. So we've been doing this for quite a while. But we do tarot readings by phone. My wife does them in Spanish. I do them in English. And if you want to go ahead and book yourself a reading, you can find us online at Reverend Heidi Tarot. So that is all for now. This is Ralph signing out. Thank you all for dropping by. Catch you in future updates, and have a good one. Bye-bye.